Hi, and welcome everybody. This is episode 4 of my podcast. We'll see how this one goes. I'm still working on the studio here, the audio, and the video and the software. So bear with me. I appreciate all the patience and compassion and support I've received on this channel. It will hopefully look better in the future. But without any further ados, let's get started. I want to talk about something I've been working on for a little while. I released a small short about it and talked a little bit about it. I'm going to go in more depth about it. And that was the Tom Campbell, My Big Toe or Theory of Everything books, the kind of the whole compilation. In fact, he's got a ton of stuff on his website. I was just combing over, trying to figure out what would be good for me to review on this channel and something that kind of resonates with me and my audience and that kind of stuff. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more unique. Most of the time, the meditation that a lot of people see me do on this channel is the Itzhak Bentov meditation. And in that meditation, you are more like an antenna or a beacon in a sense, where you're trying to be open and you're focusing on micro vibrations and oscillations. It's a different type of meditation than these ones like the Bob Monroe binaural beats and the Tom Campbell experiences. They're just kind of a little bit different, but I wanted to experience them for my own kind of sake. That's really what this channel initially was founded for. Pile Advanced Research. That's me doing my deep dives, figuring out, trying to answer life's questions with my own kind of curiosity, with my mind being open, asking those questions, sometimes asking difficult questions, sometimes asking questions that make us look stupid. And a lot of people just don't want to do that. A lot of YouTube content creators are afraid of that. And I think it's somewhere in there where truth lies. I think we need to explore these type of subjects with an open heart, open mind, know that, we know very little about the universe and be prepared to explore these different avenues, including Tom Campbell's imagination, Tom Campbell's park. These are a couple trademark things that he has created for his system. He's got in his personal groups of training, there has been this number that I found on the internet that somewhere between 75 and 100% of people that are doing Tom Campbell's work are experiencing good experiences out of this. They're feeling something. They're able to see some either benefit or progress. Search it for yourself. That was the information that I heard that kind of intrigued me. And I know Tom Campbell is one of those people that's at the top of his game. You're talking about someone who was early on in consciousness science research, a very, very smart person, okay? He's already made his fortune. He's already found his happiness. I truly believe he is really just out there at this point, especially in 2026, just out there trying to share his information. Obviously, he's still, trying to publicize his work for the greater good. It's not to make this person rich so he can buy more things. That's not where a lot of these scientists and researchers are really at. Especially Tom Campbell, with much respect. His work, and that's what intrigues me. That's what helped me create this specific podcast episode that you're watching today. And also, I've written a small little ebook. It's a companion guide, because as I was reading Tom's books, it's kind of this, it can get hairy in there. It's a very difficult read. It's not an easy read. It's starts off softly like many do, but if you're not familiar with a lot of concepts, or you're not familiar with meditating or open to out-of-body experiences, if you're one of those people that have a very cynical or a specific view of the world, you may not see as much benefit as Tom has and his students that really follow the regiment. I will also say this, and I've said this about all the meditations, the Joe Dispenzas, the Bentovs, a lot of these meditations, they do require something of us. And if you're not willing to give that proper time, treatment, respect, open-mindedness, you're just not going to see those gains that you're hoping to find. I don't care where you're digging or how hard you're trying. It's really a combination of soul searching, your experience, your journey. This is not a copy and paste program. I don't think there's one out there. Tom's is definitely not one of those. He's gotten really good at it. I think for people that really can focus on it and appreciate it and follow this, I do think there's something to be gained in there. With that said, one thing that I do want to add is I found this when I was doing my research of the Kundalini, is that way back in the day, and even today, that there were people so heavily into meditation and breath work and of their beliefs in their head, they could focus so strongly that those beliefs became for them their reality. It's a concept that we talk about on this channel because it's a real reality concept. And I always throw that out there when we're talking about things like a entrainment of some kind, that if you are trying something and you're believing it enough, your brain has that ability sometimes to perceive things in our shared world as just in your world and different. That's the best I got on it. Like I said, you can go and do your deep dive on this. It's known in different areas for different things and named different realities, and that's a whole nother concept. But the main idea that I took about it is that it does pull you from our shared world into your own world, and your beliefs of what you see and what you believe are different. Now, we have names for that in society, so be careful, tread lightly, take this with a grain of salt. Full disclosure, consult a doctor, consult your therapist, consult a lot of things before trying to open Pandora's box. I think a lot of people get walked into Tom Campbell's imagination or Tom Campbell's park. It has a very happy, positive kind of presentation. And I think there needs to be a disclaimer on that. Be careful when you go inside the brain, and especially consciousness, and especially when you start doing real research and deep dives. What you believe, what you see, what things can lead to. I just want people to be careful. For me, it's a healing, positive meditation that puts me in a positive mindset to help approach the day. I think that's a very healthy way to start meditation. I think meditation, you got to remember, this isn't prayer, it's not religion, it's not meant to be heavy. It's supposed to be healing and explorative at best. I think they're good healing and fitness practices on its own, exercise in a way, breath work for sure. I don't think a doctor or a scientist out there would tell you that taking some time out of your day to meditate and breathe and relax, that there isn't a bunch to be gained there. So I see the benefits. I see where to target it for me to get the most out of it, get the gains that I want to see in my life. I just share that with everybody else. Be careful going down these rabbit holes of meditation, consciousness, out of body. If you're not prepared, if you're not someone who has a ground floor belief already of yourself and at some positive mental state, I want to say, because people have lost their minds. Make no mistake, going into the realm of consciousness, there is a dark side, and I think we're gonna save the dark side of consciousness for my next episode. I do like I do appreciate all the support that I've gotten on this. It does look like this podcast for today has gone really well as far as the quality and audio. I know I need to work on the background a little bit, but I like the consistency. I like the topics. I like being able to talk. I am going to be bringing in more people to chat and get their opinions about things. I usually read science journals, empirical data. I'm a numbers type person. There's things that I am just constantly searching for. I will be trying to do the meditation tonight, and we'll be uploading that later on the channel. Like I said, I'm still working on my ebooks. I'm really hoping to be, an inspirational ebook writer. I like writing guides. Like I said, when I read Tom's book, I was like, man, this is hairy. A lot of people are not going to get through these 3 books, Tom. Can we crunch it? What can we do about this, Tom? And I looked at it and I said, man, here, if I was going to do it, I would write this just a companion book. And this one I'm going to give out free on Kindle and ebook here soon. Just Tom's concepts of what he's trying to talk about and what he's trying to get across in a long routed way sometimes. It's a journey. It's literally a journey, so that's why it's long and routed. But for a lot of us who are looking for those cliff notes, who are looking for just a peek inside the book without having to read the whole book, because sometimes when you read just a little bit about it, it intrigues you and you decide whether you want to pursue it further, or if you're like, this just isn't for me. And I feel like Tom's books, especially Theory of Everything, is one of those books where it can lose a lot of people. It can actually be so detrimental in trying to digest it that it scares them away from other great books. I've seen this happen. I've been there. I've read about a subject, and because the first book that I read about that subject was hard to digest and process for my beginner level ear, that I almost skipped the subjects completely. I'm glad that I revisit them and saw them later on, and read, wow, so what they were just trying to say was a little bit more complicated than I was ready for. Yep, that's pretty much it. You have to understand where Tom was when he was writing these books. Let's revisit that. Tom wasn't in high school. Tom wasn't out in early college. Tom was late in his super career of knowledge and put these books together. So a lot of the knowledge in there is very complicated. It's using metaphors for a lot of things and can hop around a little bit. A lot of people love them. I'm not saying these books are not great. I am saying that there needed to be a companion book written about it. I wrote it and it's available. I'll put the links down in the description. It's on my Amazon Kindle page. And I'm glad. I'm almost hoping that people read these, not cliff notes, but they see the inner world before having to digest the whole world. Some people can jump right in and they swim in it. They're like, oh, this is a great concept. Hey, I can apply this to this. And you know what? My nightly routine, I can start just wrapping that in here. An extra 20 minutes, Tom's Park. I'm going to do this. And they've solved it. But for a lot of people, like the people, just normal everyday people that I see shopping, they're not going to do that. And so by presenting something a little bit more digestible, we're hitting a broader audience. We're getting people just more humans interested in science. And I think overall, that's just a big impact. I think that if more people were into the search of truth and knowledge and hard science, empirical data, whoa. I see that what we've done so far with that stuff, and it's very impressive. And, so that's what I've got. That's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm actually got to get ready for work here shortly. Got to go do a half shift there, come back, do a meditation. I will be doing some live sessions. This is the early on podcast. And I'm still getting started. In fact, I'm gonna go work on this background. It just bothers me. If I look through the last couple podcasts that I did, great information, great tone, good energy. Quality could be a little bit better, mic and video. But the background, it would be nice to have something a little bit more soothing. I have a little fountain that I play here. I actually recorded that sound and uploaded to YouTube. That's what I use to meditate. But besides that, I'm a minimalist, and some people appreciate that, and some people don't. Some people like the eye candy, like a fish tank and some bonsai tree and some neon lights. I'm going to do something like that in my own tone, and then kind of start comparing to whether people enjoyed the more minimalist or the more eye candy-ish. So that's what I got going on. Like I said, I am going to be doing the dark side of consciousness will be my next podcast episode. It'll either be on tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I appreciate you guys all showing up. I understand not everybody could see this episode live. People are at work. People are doing stuff. People are living their lives. And I totally respect that. And that's why I'm going to upload this later for everybody. And like I said, go check out my Amazon Kindle page. I try to give out, I've written about 25 ebooks, just helpful guides for different stuff. And it's really been helping fuel this channel and my time and my motivation. I've been getting a lot of thumbs up, great stars, and I give away a couple there free. If you're a Kindle Unlimited person, you can read all of my books for absolutely free. You can always just sign up for their free membership or whatever they got going on and just check it out. I'd appreciate it. Even if you don't buy anything, just following the author, it helps me out. Also, hitting that like and subscribe if you're new. A lot of you are going to be returning people, and I appreciate that. Hitting the like, commenting, giving me a little input of what you thought, or, I always like responding to them. I do answer each of these personally, and I will get back to you within a day or so. And as always, you guys have a beautiful day, and thanks for joining on the podcast. I'll see you on the next episode.